Now, Bafana Bafana will leave their training base at the High Performance Centre in Pretoria to travel to OR Tambo International. The 2024 Africa Cup of Nations bronze medalists are on their way to Morocco for this year's edition of the African Cup of Nations tournament. For more on this, we cross to SABC sports reporter Percy Nkatlo in Pretoria. A very good afternoon to you, Percy. Plenty of excitement and high hopes as Bafana Bafana head to Morocco. What's happening on the ground there?
Good afternoon in the studio there, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. As you mentioned in your intro, yes, indeed, we are at the High Performance Centre in Pretoria. The viewers at home can see the Bafana Bafana bus behind me. The players are expected to board the bus around 2 o'clock before they depart for Morocco. And then we've got one of our crews will be waiting for them at the OR Tambo airport. But we are here, we are hoping to give the viewers a glimpse of the players and hopefully speak to one or two. We know in the past it has not been very easy to speak to the players with all that has been happening around the camp. But as I say, any minute from now, the players can come to board the bus. Unfortunately, not a single player inside. I'm sure where they are probably having a lunch right now. But they will be boarding the bus around 2 because we don't have, as much as we don't have the itinerary of the team, we know they'll be leaving later this afternoon. And then hopefully if we can speak to some of them so that they can share with us some of the developments in the camp. But we know the team will be departing for Morocco, where they'll be playing the opening match of the tournament on Monday against, they'll be playing Angola. The team, we know Bafana Bafana are in Group B alongside Angola, Egypt and Zimbabwe. But the opening match, as I say, will be on Monday. The tournament will only be starting on Sunday with the host Morocco. Playing the opening game of the tournament against Comoros. We know the hosts are in Group A, but as I say, unfortunately not a single player inside now. And with 2 o'clock approaching, hopefully any minute from now we'll start seeing them come out, and then if we are able to speak to them, the viewers will hear from them. But if we don't speak to them, maybe when they get to OR Tambo, some of the guys will be there, will be able to speak to them and find out what they are thinking and what the mood is before they depart for Morocco.
Now, Percy, yesterday we heard the Sports Minister, Gayton McKenzie, saying that he's had a word with President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has asked him to ensure that Bafana Bafana bring the cup home. Let's talk a little bit about the composition of the team. I mean, they head to the AFCON boasting a squad mixed with youth and experience in pursuit of improving their last showing in Ivory Coast. What are the expectations there?
The expectation is that the team will improve on their third place finish in the last AFCON tournament in Morocco, where we know they lost in the semi-finals. As you point out, it's a team, it's a mix of experience and youth. Most of the players who played at the last tournament are still in the team, the likes of Tebogo Mokoena and their captain, Ronwen Williams. The youngsters would have the likes of Mohaung Kota, Chandra Campbell, who's playing his trade in Belgium, and a few others. But most of the core of the team, rather, is still the same. Hugo Bruce hasn't changed much of the team. And we expect, as I say, the team to go at least to the semi-finals. And as much as there's hope, some coach and some pundits have said we cannot really be that optimistic because teams now know what to expect from Bafana Bafana. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. Although our team has progressed over the last few years, and we know they've got that unbeaten 24-match record in the world, which is one of the longest. And they've been doing well, playing some of the best soccer that we've seen. Yesterday, Hugo Bruce didn't field his strongest squad because some of the players will only join up with their teammates later on. We know Hugo Bruce, one thing that he complained about was FIFA reducing the days that international clubs can release players from. And now the clubs were allowed to release players 6 days before the tournament. And previously, we know they were, in fact, expected to release players much earlier so that the national teams can be in camp for a longer period so that they've got adequate time to prepare. So you are right by saying the team is a mixture of experience and youth. We are expected to do much well. But other teams have also improved on the continent. We saw the likes of some of the team. Morocco is one of the big teams on the continent. But Bafana, as I say, has been solid over the past few years, and they're expected to at least reach the semi-finals. And some people are already saying this could be the time that they win it and add to the only title that they won in 1996. But we will see, and then we'll talk to the players before they depart and hear what the mood is. And obviously, their first game of the tournament against Angola is going to set the tone for them. And the coach, as well as some of the players that we've talked to, have pointed out the importance of the team doing well in that first game, because they've got one team that is our nemesis, Zimbabwe. Some people could say is the weakest team in that Group B, but it's not as easy as some people might think. And Egypt is one of the superpower, the strong teams on the continent. So players have pointed out, as well as the coach, we're going to have to do very well against Angola and get the 3 points, so that we improve our chances of going further and reaching the knockout stage of the tournament. But as I say, we are still awaiting to see if the players will come out, and then see if they'll be able to talk to us before they leave for OR Tambo International Airport.
Very well. Thank you very much, Percy Nkatlo, SABC sports reporter there, giving us a sense of what's happening on the ground as Bafana Bafana prepare to leave from Pretoria, heading to OR Tambo International Airport to participate in the AFCON. We will bring you more news and more details as we take you to the top of the hour.